systems are offline.
You're listening to Wrestling BashTalk with your host.
Ed and Gus. All right. Welcome to another edition of BashTalk. Ed, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
So, what you think about our first episode?
Oh, it was pretty good.
I think it was pretty good too, and not bad for a couple of rookies, doing this.
Yeah.
So, Ed, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We're going to talk about CM Punk.
Oh.
We're going to talk about Cody Rhodes. We're going to talk about R-Truth.
Ooh, ain't that the truth? So, are we going to talk about what happened in Raw?
Sure.
Oh, all right. Well, let's get into it. Talk to me, Big Ed.
Well, if you guys didn't know by now, CM Punk will not be at WrestleMania 40.
Boo, why?
Apparently, he was injured during the Royal Rumble by Drew McIntyre.
So during the Rumble, he got injured.
Yeah, it was pretty much when he gave him the DDT.
Oh, wow, okay. So what kind of injury did he sustain?
He sustained the torn tricep.
Right or left?
Not knowing. Hopefully, it's not the same one that he tore when he was in AEW.
Well, according to what I'm seeing here, reading here, it's the right tricep, which, if I'm not incorrect, I think it's the same one.
If he does, that's going to be a long time because he's going to require surgery.
Right. Well, I mean, remember one thing: he is 45 years old.
I know.
So it's an age where injuries will happen more frequently than if you were 20. I don't know how long he should keep on going.
Well, it's sad because this man never gets a break. That's the thing. I mean, 2022, he wins the AEW World title. He gets hurt. He comes back from injury. He wins it again, and then he hurts his foot.
Right.
I mean, and now he's back in the WWE after 10 years, and finally, he's going to main event WrestleMania. Gets hurt in the Royal Rumble.
If I'm not incorrect, back in 2022, when he was in AEW, he injured his right tricep right before, or was it during the World Championship pay-per-view All Out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was when he won it the first time, and it was supposed to be the Summer of Punk.
Was it before or during that pay-per-view?
I believe it was during the pay-per-view match.
And now he did it again, 2024. So it's only been 2 years since his last injury, and it's the same one. Do we think it's going to be a long journey? Do we think he's going to come back? Do we think...
Well, if it's the same one, we're looking good 9 to 10 months.
Some people think to believe that his days are numbered. What do you think?
I'm just hoping when he comes back, he can make sure that he stays healthy for WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, because he is one of the most popular wrestlers out there today. I mean, he was back then as well, right? But I mean, today, right now, where we stand, he is one of the most popular.
And what I really liked was his promo because it was real. It was real, and it was from the heart.
Right.
I mean, he was talking about the kids with the cancer and, people getting... hurt and he was saying he's a wrestler, and he was even telling everyone he says he's the best in the world, not because he wins matches, because he said he loses more than he wins. He's the best in the world because of what he does. He gives 110% every time he goes in that ring.
Yeah, that is true. Trying to leave apart all the stuff that he has been through, the fights, the backstage battles with other wrestlers, what you say is true. He is good at his craft. So credit is where credit is due.
I mean, even when he was in UFC, I mean, he got his butt kicked in both matches he was in, but he went out there and he did his best. He went out there and he tried. I watched both matches and he looked like he was really trying to fight those guys.
Like I said, credit where credit is due. He even said it himself. At least he tried. One of the most important things for him is that he tried. How many people do you know that can say, I fought in the UFC. Yeah, I got my butt kicked, but I was there.
The only thing I didn't like was that they had Drew McIntyre beat him up.
Which for me doesn't make sense because Drew is about to leave, quote unquote. We don't know, right? Because it hasn't been said yet. He hasn't signed anything reassuring that he's going to stay. So if he does leave, does it make sense to do a storyline? Which honestly, in my eyes, him coming out and doing what he did and saying what he did makes no sense because there ain't going to be a storyline.
Yeah.
So what was the point of that?
I know. See, I'm thinking they did this to get Sammy involved, but you could have got Sammy involved backstage. You didn't have to do that. What Drew said was great because it only made him look more of a heel when he said that he prayed for him to get injured, and his prayers came true and he slept like a baby. So all you had to do is just have him go backstage. Sammy confronts him. Why do you have to talk like that around, blah, 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 blah. Him and Sammy could have got it backstage and you could have still made the main event Sammy Drew. You did not have to get CM Punk involved in it.
I agree 100%. And once again, for me, it doesn't make sense. If he's not going to come back, what's the point? For me, that was another kind of like a slap in the face creatively that tells me we don't know what to do, so let's just wing it. For me, that's what it looked like. Let's wing it. Let's see how this comes out just because we have no more ideas. Let's just do it. We're on here on the point. This was something that we didn't expect, which is fair. Okay, let's say that it was like that. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? Last minute, he is injured because maybe they were waiting for the doctors to let them know 100%. Is he good? Is he clear? Is he going to be okay? Is he kind of hurt? But, still, don't you think that the creative department should have been ready for anything?
Well, yes and no, because when things go wrong, most of the time you got to just go on the fly,
I mean, you do, but you always have to have a plan B, C, and D. Just in case. At least me, in my thoughts, is like, okay, if I'm going to do a show, if I'm going to do this, I know that anything can happen. Being that said, I'm going to have my plan B, C, and D ready at hand just in case. I don't think in this time, in this point, the creative department for WWE were ready.
Let me stop you right there. Remember, Triple H is old school.
Yeah, but it's not only Triple H. Remember that.
Yeah, but he is in charge of creative.
Yes, but he has a whole team. A whole team.
I know. I know that. But what I'm saying is he gets the final say. And sometimes he's the type of person that likes to go on the fly.
Right. But in this point, me personally, I did not agree with what they did.
No, I didn't agree with it either. I felt there was no reason to jump Punk. They should have just let him go, walk away, and heal his injury.
And with that being said, and talking about jumping and not agreeing, talk to me about R-Truth. Do you agree with what the Judgment Day did? Did you agree with that storyline? Talk to me, Big Ed.
R-Truth is one of the funniest people I've ever watched in wrestling. I mean, I don't even have to see him talk. He could just stand there and I'll start cracking up laughing. But what the Judgment that they did, I believe it was 100% right what they did, because Judgment Day was starting to look comical and they want to be more serious. They want to be taken seriously. Besides Finn and Damian, JD and Dominic, they look like, Comedy Central over there. So
I agree.
By what they did to R-Truth is 100% legit, because they want to try to look more, serious, because we have all these other teams that are serious, the Bloodline, the OC, just to name a few, but they don't want to be basically in the same category like the Alpha Academy.
But with that being said, where does the Judgment Day stand? What is there more for them to continue? Because there's been rumors that they're gonna dismantle. There's been rumors that creatively they don't know what to do with them anymore. Where do you think that the Judgment Day fit right now with everything that's going on and with all the changes that's been happening due to injuries?
That's a good question. I don't know where they're gonna go with them. I mean, Damian Priest has had that suitcase for a while. I don't know when he's gonna cash in. As far as them with the tag team titles, who knows who's going to dethrone them? I know at Elimination Chamber, supposedly they're supposed to have that title match against DIY. It wasn't announced, but they are supposed to be facing them in the future because they are the number one contenders. But other than that, I don't know where they're going to go with them. I don't know what they're going to do with JD and Dominic Mysterio. And as far as Mommy goes, Mommy's the only one that's being superior right now.
Correct. And that's why, with that being said, is it creatively, I want to say important, but is it creatively good for business to continue with the stable the way it is, or dismantle and give every member the chance to shine on their own? Let's face it, Mommy is outshining every single one of them. That's okay. Priest is as well. I think Dominic, they don't know what to do with him. I'm being honest. He has potential. Obviously, we know he's Rey Mysterio's kid, but let's be real. He has a lot to learn. There's, we can't cover what is there. He has a lot to learn.
He's good, but
he has a lot to learn. Finn, I don't think they're using him properly. And I'm being honest. Why? Because what they did with him before, big stuff, pay-per-views and then putting him in a stable like where he's at now, I feel like they cut his legs off. I feel like they creatively don't know where to put him or what to do with him for the simple purpose, and this is my way of thinking this. They have so much wrestlers in roster, and this is not including NXT. To create so many stories and have so much good talent is extremely difficult. Correct. So where do you put a talent like Finn? I mean, he has great talent.
I agree, but maybe it's not creative. Maybe it's Finn himself. Maybe he feels, now in his career and his age, this is where he wants to be.
How old is he?
I believe Finn is like maybe hitting 45.
Wow, that I did not know, and he does not look it. Like he's really good shape and physically.
I could be wrong, but I think he's hitting 45.
I mean, let's check, because honestly, he's a great talent.
I know he's not a spring chicken. That I know, because he's been around a while.
He's 42 years old.
42. Okay,
wow.
So I was a little off.
But you were close. But that's my way of thinking of seeing. And I think it's, for me, seeing him in the past, what he's done, right now, I see him as they're wasting time. They could do so much more with him. All right. Dom, he's still young.
Yeah.
So you have time to train him. You have time to teach him. You have time to do great stuff because he's still young.
Yeah, he's like 23.
Priest, he's shown that he has so much potential. And I think it's the time.
Priest's clock is ticking too. I think he just turned 41.
I do not know what his age is, but I think he's shown so much potential and he has so much to give. But that's why I go back and I say, why not give him a shot on their own? I don't know what you think about that.
Well, like I said, it might not be creative. It might be Finn. He might be like, this is where I want to be in my career right now. I'm not interested in chasing titles. I'm happy what I'm doing. And maybe he just wants to go for the ride. Because, they do sometimes put people in stables because they need others to carry, like with the NWO, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan could not be the way he was in WCW without the NWO because his popularity was fading.
Right. Yep. I agree 100%. What about Cody Rhodes? Talk to me what you thought about when he came out to speak.
It was very interesting. It was very interesting what Seth said, and it's kind of true that he has the workhorse title, but at the same time, think of this: who does Cody want to face? Someone that he beat 3 times already, or someone that he needs to beat that he lost to last year at WrestleMania 39?
Right. Once again, this goes back to what I said earlier. Did the creative team adjust what was supposed to happen for this segment between Rollins and Cody?
No. I believe this is something that Seth might have came up with. I believe Seth might have came up with this.
Do you think this was the original plan?
No.
So, with that being said, they had to have adjusted it.
Sure. They I'm not saying they didn't, but what I'm saying is they might have wanted ideas, and maybe Seth came up with this type of idea.
Now, do we agree that this might have been a segment that they added at last minute due to CM Punk's injury, just to give it another push, give it another edge, so people would have like a cliffhanger type of thing? Like, oh, okay,
Could have been possible.
Because once again, like I said earlier, storylines have to change.
Yeah.
Because of what happened to CM Punk. So at the last minute, they had to do something, and I don't think they were ready for it, and this is what they came up. Do we think it was something good that they did with Cody and Rollins? Because I think, in a way, it kind of like messes with everybody's head now, because originally we all knew that Cody was going to go for Roman.
Well, I know the audience didn't like it because while it was happening, a lot of people were chanting Roman, and a lot of people were saying no. But it threw a monkey wrench in Cody's mind. That I know because he looked confused, and he turned around and said, "I'll think about it." But like I said before, who would you like to see Cody face and win that title against? Someone he beat 3 times already, or someone he lost to and at WrestleMania last year, and he needs to defeat them?
Right. Well, we will see, because honestly, it's kind of confusing, because what we all thought what was going to happen was he was going to go for
the world title?
The world title, correct. But with CM Punk's injury, this might change. Where does this put Roman? Where does this put The Rock? If they're going to continue on with what they did with The Rock, was it a real real segment that they were thinking about doing, a real match or not. It hasn't been clarified, so we don't know. Do we want to see that? I want to see that. I would love to see Roman versus The Rock and see who's the head of the table. Come on, it's going. But where does that leave the title? Where does that leave Roman? Where does that leave Cody? Where does that leave? It's a lot to think about creatively. Once again, I go back to that because it's all there. It's supposed to be based on what the creative team is doing. Are they doing it right? Are they doing it correct? Are they headed the right way?
Well, if they're headed towards, Rock Roman, then yes. Then we're definitely going to get Cody Seth. But if this is just something that they're just throwing out there, and then Cody's going to go on this Friday and say, no, I want to face Roman. So then that leaves Seth to face whoever wins the chamber.
Correct. I mean, we'll see. I honestly hope creatively they come up with something great, something shocking that will really shock everybody.
And if that does happen, expect either Randy Orton or LA Knight to main event WrestleMania with Seth.
We'll see. Well, let's talk about something else. Your favorite,
Ronda Rousey.
There you go. She tweeted on what Twitter was, not called Twitter anymore. It's called X, right? She posted on social media. She commented on social media, I should say, that Vince McMahon, due to all the allegations and everything that had happened, we know that he stepped down. But she stated that he still has influence in WWE despite his exit. What do we think about that? And who do you think or what do you think she meant by that?
Well, if she's talking about Bruce Pritchard, I wouldn't doubt it because I know for a fact that Vince might be in his ear. And he's technically the only one left besides Michael Hayes from the Vince McMahon era. But I don't think it would be Michael Hayes. I'm thinking it's more if it would be Bruce. And I always said they got to get rid of him. They got to get rid of him fast.
Well, I mean, now that Vince is gone and things are being moved around, do you think this might happen in the near future?
Well, didn't Bucktooth Buddy step down?
Yeah. And now that we're in this conversation, the rumors right now going around is that Stephanie McMahon might come back. Do you think that's even possible? And do you think that's going to help Vince McMahon's case in any way? Do you think it's going to help WWE, or is that going to put things in a worse position? Because let's be honest, this is the first time no McMahon has been in charge in WWE history. What do you think about that? What do you think about Stephanie possibly coming back? Is it a good move? Is it a bad move? Do you think she'll even do it?
Well, there's pros and there's cons to it. I mean, the pro would be what she's going to do is she's going to try to fix the wrong by putting herself in the spotlight, trying to do things and trying to fix things that her dad did. But the wrong thing is she's going to get a lot of negativity from those haters.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're already starting to say that. How can you trust Triple H? How can you trust Stephanie? Vince is Stephanie's dad. Did she know anything? Did Triple H know anything? I mean, being real, maybe they did know something. Obviously not the whole entire thing because it's his personal life, quote unquote, even though this other person who is the accuser worked for the company. However, she got to where she got. But do you think there's more to it and there's more people involved?
No. I think whoever's involved now, that's it. I don't think there's anybody else involved. I'm just going to go on the radar. Maybe Bruce Pritchard because
he's so close to Vince. So, I mean, it would be logical that he knows. And maybe, once again, if it is true, if allegations are true, maybe he's one of those people who this young lady is also accusing.
Yeah, because Bruce Pritchard, he's a weirdo to begin with.
I don't know him personally. So
I don't know him personally, but I've listened to some of his podcasts and
right.
I've seen him, in interviews, and he's just a quirky guy.
Okay. Now that we're in this subject, and we're going to end this subject with this, rumor right now is going around is that we're not going to see Brock Lesnar in a good minute, if not ever. Do you think this is possible? Do you think he will come back? Or do you think if they actually see that he is involved, it's the end of a career for somebody who, let's be honest, did big, huge things for wrestling in his time and for wrestling in general, right?
I hope not, because if that does happen and that is true, it's going to be a domino effect because number one, you leave him with his last and final match with a loss. Number two, this guy that had a great his legacy is tarnished.
Right. So in some degree, if not in a big degree, we can agree that this whole situation with Vince will hurt WWE as a whole.
I don't think as a whole. I think it's going to hurt them a small percent because, you know, TKO is going to show that we have nothing to do with that this is a new WWE, that WWE doesn't exist anymore. And they're going to show that they're positive and, you know, they take everything professionally and they treat all their employees in a professional manner.
How do you think this is going to affect competition-wise? Do you think this is going to is going to help out the competition? This whole scandal is going on, that even though we do not want to see it, it does go around WWE. It is, you know, it's sad, it sucks, but it's, you know, what it is. How much will this hurt WWE and how much is it going to benefit the competition like AEW, TNA?
I don't see it hurting them that much, and I don't see anybody getting benefited off it, because the difference between WWE and all the other companies is they don't let it bother them within the locker room
that we know of. You know, let's be honest, we're not in that locker room.
That's true, but
because remember what Cody said when he gave that press conference, and he did say that within the locker room there was already talk, but everything was calm, right?
Yeah.
But there was already talk.
And he also said that everybody treats each other like family.
Well, I mean, I can say that I'm friends with The Rock. Does that make it true?
I don't know. Are you?
I hope so. But you see what I mean, right?
Yeah.
There is something that is called covering up. Obviously for good reasons, not for bad. Not everything has to be for bad, but covering up so the company won't be as stained as sadly it is right now due to what's going on.
Yeah. But as of right now, whatever's to light, that's what's going on.
Right. And talking about competition, did you see what's going on in social media with Chris Jericho, Big Show, the whole event that he does yearly, the cruise, the Jericho cruise? People are not reacting in a good way to what they've seen this past weekend. I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the comments are incredible. You know, for example, there was one that says, "Oh, geez, he looks like a jobber. Why is Big Show there?" Or we have another one that goes, "Paul got bendy straw legs now. Oh my God." Or Jericho looks so awful. How are him and Edge around the same age, but Edge looks way better? What are your thoughts?
I know I'm going to get hurt for this, but Big Show needed to retire 10 years ago. Jericho needed to retire after he lost the AEW world title. They do not look like they did when they were in their prime. They are way past their prime. I mean, Sting, he's 62 years old. He looks better than both of them.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I mean, they need to stop, you know, just in general. Wrestlers that try to wrestle at a certain age, they need to stop. They don't have it no more. No one wants to see a fragile wrestler that they used to love as a child or as a young adult.
I saw the video that's been going around in social media, and no lie, and you know how much of a huge fan of the Big Show I am, because I'm a huge fan. I've been following him ever since WCW when he was the Giant. But honest to God, the way he was walking, he reminded me of Hulk Hogan walking. That's how bad he looked.
You talking about after the knee surgery?
I'm talking about in this video, the video of the cruise.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Ed, how about we change the subject a little bit and let's talk about AEW. MJF, that's who I want to talk about. MJF officially has been removed from the All Elite Wrestling roster page, and he hasn't been seen since December 30th. Do you think he's going to resign with AEW, or do we think he's going to go somewhere else, or do we think he is finished with wrestling? What are your thoughts?
He's been wrestling for a while with a shoulder injury, and I know he's probably resting that.
I know that Tony Khan, in the last press conference that he had, they asked him about MJF. His comments towards that they're still in good terms and that he's still waiting to see what's going to happen with MJF's contract, if he's going to renew or not. Now, I don't know if you know this, MJF, beyond the injury, I don't know if you know this, but he's been filming his second movie.
Really?
Yeah. And he just finished, I think yesterday, he just finished filming it. And believe it or not, in this film, compared to the last film, he actually has a leading role.
Do you know the name of the movie?
I can look that up for you. Let's see. I think I have it in my notes here. It is called The Floaters. It's a Jewish comedy. I see you laughing, Ed. Talk to me. What's going on here?
Nothing.
Come on, say it.
Nothing. Just me being from New York.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you think MJF is done with AEW? Do you think MJF is done with wrestling in general? Because he could be concentrating on a film career, which by the looks of it, he's enjoying, because this is a second movie, and this time it's a leading role. Now, we don't know how good that movie is. We have to watch it. I haven't watched the previous movie where he only comes out in a few scenes. I've heard he doesn't come out much. But the scenes that he does, I heard that they're really good. And that was in this movie.
Yeah, the movie about the Von Erichs.
Von Erichs, exactly. I heard he actually did pretty good, even though it was a smaller role. And it was like, from what I heard, he filmed more, but they only used a small, because when they edited, they decided to take out more of what he had done. Not because it was bad, but because of the length of what the movie was supposed to be compared to what they had filmed. But they said that his acting was great. Once again, I haven't seen it. We have to watch it. You let me know, Ed, when you want to watch it, because we have to go watch it.
Yeah.
But back to the question. Do you think he's done with wrestling? Do you think he's done with AEW? Do you think, and this is the kicker here, I love this question, do you think MJF has a future in WWE if he decides to go to WWE? Or do you think he has a future in TNA? I think he'll be a great fit in TNA. My opinion. What do you think?
Okay. You see how he's off the roster, right?
Correct.
Remember Edge when he was negotiating where he should go? What did they do to Edge? They took him off the roster.
Correct.
And then what happened with Edge?
But we got to remember one thing. This is not the first time that they take MJF off the roster.
Yes, that is true, but that was a storyline.
We knew that afterwards. How do we know it's not a storyline now?
That's true, but he kept saying for the last 2 years that his contract expires January 1st, 2024. And he kept expressing that very, very loosely. And
yes, but in social media, and one of his comments that he made on social media, he said, and quote, that he loved AEW, he loved the product and where it was headed, and he doesn't see himself anywhere else. How true is that?
Well, you could say the same for Edge.
Well, no, because Edge actually stated that he wanted to venture in something new and different, and that his body wasn't up anymore to that challenge of what WWE standards was. He admitted it, that he was done with that he wanted just to have fun. And then he stated, once we knew about his departure, that he had agreed with AEW because his daughter had asked him to go
with Uncle Jay.
But before that, he actually stated that he needed to do something different. That's the difference.
But see, the thing is with MJF, here's what I'm going to say. MJF fools a lot of people's minds. He plays mind games.
He's really good at that. Now, I don't know if that is a pro or a con. I don't know what you think about MJF as a wrestler. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think he has talent. We know he's great on the mic. There's no doubt.
Yes, he's one of the best on the mic.
I think he has potential to be more and bigger. I think he has potential if he really concentrated in wrestling on the craft itself, on wrestling. He could be better. Don't think he could be great. I don't think he has a quality of, for example, a Triple H. I don't think he has a quality of like the Heartbreak Kid. Not even of, and I'm going to say this, not even of a Bret Hart. And Bret Hart was a great technical wrestler. He wasn't bad on the mic, but he wasn't the greatest either. But he sold. He did. MJF could be good. Could give more. I think he has potential for something. But my problem, I don't know where to put him at.
I agree with you. He's one of the best talkers on the mic. I can probably put him in this, maybe not the top 5. I could put him maybe in the top 10 of the greatest talkers on the mic. His wrestling, I think it's maybe above average. And I think he might have potential to get a little better, but not much.
So, Ed, we have made it to the end of our second show. Once again, guys,
I was having fun.
All right, me too. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. Please share, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Comment what you guys want us to talk about. Ed, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, basically what Gus said, like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell us what you think. Let's have a discussion.
That's right. All right, Ed. It's been an honor, a privilege. Everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you guys in a few days.
Yep.
Bye.